reposted a video that you shot in the spring. How long do you think it would take for people to notice? The beard to be a giveaway. Nah, your beard sucked. I think you can get away with it. Let's go! Do you have a humiliation kit? This is all I ask you to do. I'm having a great finger flick. You're allowed to show up. This team is ruining my life. I'm taking crazy pills. With you, wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Leafs lose 4-3 in overtime at the hands of the Boston Bruins. Just like in the playoffs, they managed to tie it 3-3, and whoever gets the fourth one wins it all, and they blow it in overtime. Let's all watch the sad clown honk his nose. Me, Mom. Before we continue this video, a word from HelloFresh. From the meal planning to the grocery store shopping, dinner time can be stressful, and HelloFresh gets it. They make it easy by delivering fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and easy step-by-step recipes each week, right to your door. Recipes include produce sourced directly from Canadian farmers, picked at peak ripeness to go from the farm to your table in less than a week, which means HelloFresh's menu always features the season's freshest flavors. HelloFresh makes it easy to create restaurant-quality meals at home without having to deal with high restaurant prices. And their new 15-minute meals get dinner on the table faster than delivery would. With a changing menu of over 100 meal combinations to choose from each week, having HelloFresh means you'll always find something that the whole family will love. Dude, even I can do it. I made pork gyros at the SDPN offices, and they were so delicious that Jesse Blake wanted some, and he tried them, and he loved them. They were delicious, or however you say it in Greek. Get up to 20 meals for free and free shipping on your first order at HelloFresh.ca with code DANGLE20. Offer is across 6 boxes for new subscribers only. That's 20 free meals at HelloFresh.ca with code DANGLE20. Link in the description below. We now return to your regularly scheduled LFR video. The Leafs, man! The Leafs! We are simultaneously way overreacting to their start to the season, and you couldn't possibly overreact to the start of the season. So let's talk about it. All right, they lose 4-3 in overtime. Boo. The big giveaway for Matthews, and we're going to have a big conversation about it. There's a few things going around from this game. I think we're going to talk about all of them, but this one is the overarching theme. From Jonas Siegel, and this does bear repeating and might even make you feel better. Leafs in the 21-22 season, they were 4-4-1 after 9 games. The next season, the season they actually won a playoff series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, they were 4-4-1 after 9 games. The season after that, last season, they were 5-3-1. I can't believe they were that good. And this season, the Leafs find themselves where they found themselves in 2022 and 2023, 4-4-1. You know what I hate about that stat? It's meant to say that, everything's fine. You know, they didn't do anything in those seasons, right? They made the playoffs, yeah. They win a division? No. They win a round? No. Well, that one time. Okay, did they win half a dozen games or more in the playoffs? Did they win 6 out of the 16 that you need to get to win the stand? No! So a 4-4-1 start is not a disaster, but context matters. We're sitting here Saturday night, Sunday morning, talking about this team like the sky is falling, and it kind of is, which is staggering given how this week started. They mop the Lightning, most complete win of the season, most complete win in a while, and they smack them up and down the ice. Sundin in the building, everyone, like they're so happy. Next night, they go to Columbus, get demolished, like they shouldn't have even gotten off the bus. And we were all like, well, that's weird, but Leafs, you little scamp, that's so typical. I bet everything will be fine because next game is at home, they'll be rested, and it'll be Craig Berube's first game against the St. Louis Blues. They're going to want to put on a big game for Chief, and we know that because they said so! What do? Get smacked. And now we're all like, uh-oh. Well, if we felt really good about Tampa, and then they blew it against the Blue Jackets, and we're like, all right, there's a mulligan. You don't give him another one for the Blues game! And you watch the Blue Jackets one, and you go, okay, they must be exhausted or something's wrong. They don't play very well against St. Louis, and you go, okay, there's less of an excuse for this one. You look at the Blue Jackets game, you go, okay, Hildeby wasn't very good. Blues game, all right. Wolves' first game of the season, okay. Saturday night in Boston, taking on the Boston Bruins, a team that really needs a win. You're a team that really needs a win. And Anthony Stolarz played out of his skull and brain for you guys. Made arguably his best save as a Leaf, maybe the best save of his NHL career for you guys, and it wasn't enough. It was not enough. This was a game where top to bottom, with the exception of a blip at the beginning of the second period, you were outplayed. You're outplayed the entire night. There was no passion, there was no physicality, there was no rough stuff, there was no chippiness. This is a team that extended your spring again. Again! I could understand why Stollers, OEL, and Lorentz might not be that mad at them, but what about the rest of you? I was watching the game tonight. We were streaming on the SDPN YouTube channel. There's like 5 minutes left in the third period. Bruins are out shooting the Leafs 9-2. That's a third period where the Leafs began with a power play for almost an entire 2 minutes, and they were losing the third period the entire time. How are you getting outshot at all, let alone 9-2? See, this is the thing that you get with like highlights and stuff like that. If you consume the Leafs quickly, right, you're gonna get a few stories from this game. People are gonna be posting the Mitch non-shot on the power play. And look, it's bad. It's really bad. Like, I mean, for those of you who are listening to this, Mitch has the puck on his stick. There is an open net. And he wouldn't know that because he ain't looking at it. He's got the puck on his stick. And when you think of a pass-first player, that's a pass-first player. He's not even thinking shoot. It's never crossed his mind. Nope. And while that was a negative moment in the game, and it's a microcosm of like a bigger issue with that player, dude had 3 assists. Dude had 3 assists in this one. He assisted on the game's first goal. He assisted on the second goal of the game, and that one was primary. And then the third goal of the game to tie it with like 90 seconds to go or something like that. It was just a dart from the guy. Then there's the overtime play, which we're going to save for a little bit later. And that is going to be all-encompassing. Whose fault was it? What was Austin thinking? Was Mitch going for a line change when he shouldn't have been? What is Morgan Rielly doing up at the offensive blue line when he's on D? And the guy with the puck needs to get off. That's going to be the argument, blah, 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 blah. The Leafs got outplayed in the first period, like pretty thoroughly, I thought, by the Boston Bruins. The Bruins had the puck way more. They spent an unbelievable amount of time in the offensive zone, in the Leafs zone, and the Leafs didn't get their first shot of the period until about halfway through it. The Bruins outplayed them, and it was a miracle. It was 0-0 after 1. The Leafs take that 100 times out of 100 because they were not good. Beginning of the second period, unrecognizable. A way better rejuvenated team coming out for the second period. Getting after them early and often. Barely over 30 seconds into the period, Mitch Marner hands it off to Auston Matthews. Auston Matthews cuts through the Bruins like butter. He has the puck post off his stick. Matthew Knies scored. Now, why did Matthew Knies score? Did he score because Jeremy Swayman was out of position? Did he score because it was like an unusual shot? Like it was a snipe. It was the kind of goal that you only get from truly special goal scorers. Or was it option 3? You go to the net! The thing! The red thing with white mesh that you put the puck in? Go there! They did it. They scored. He's pretty good at that. I kind of like this kid. I think he's going to have a future. 1-0 Leafs. Now, not long after, the Leafs take a penalty. The Bruins go on the power play. They set up a righty on the left side. In the first game of the season, it was Cole Caulfield. He scored. In this game, it's David Pastrnak, and he scored. Now, I know that a blurry screenshot is not the be-all, end-all of what you should or shouldn't do in any given situation, but David Pastrnak is looking at the net, which I think is always helpful. Good for Dave. Good for you. Smart. Again, Mitch is going to take an odd amount of crap for this game. I think there's going to be a civil war among Leaf fans for the next 48 hours because he had 3 assists and he had a couple odd moments that were not good. But here he is on the second goal, just making the Bruins look absolutely ridiculous, cutting back to the blue line, opening up a lane. The Bruins don't know what to do. Reminder, the Bruins are struggling this season right now, okay? There is at least a car length between Morgan Rielly and the next closest Bruin. I know it's 4-on-4, but oof. This is just great. This is great stuff. Morgan's second of the season. I love his game this season. I wonder if it's because he always plays with a defense partner who's, you know, not horrible. Leafs up 2-1, their second lead of the game. So the Leafs start the second period well. The Bruins get one back, but it's on the power play. 4-on-4, you take advantage of that opportunity and you score. Hooray, your second lead of the game. You got to be feeling good about yourself. A little under 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period. Like, this is barely over halfway through the game, right? The amount of good shifts the Leafs had after this is probably single digit. It might be 3 or 4. Philippe Myers getting into his first game. I didn't think he had a bad game. He was -1. It said he had 3 giveaways. This one's not his. Throws the puck to Bobby McMann. Bobby McMann, just gives it away. McMahon was later demoted to the fourth line. I don't know if we're going to see him Monday. Craig seemed upset. That leads to a gong show. And did the Leafs adapt? As you can see here from this Timbits hockey-ass defense, no, they did not. And who is it? Oh, Justin Brazeau. That's the guy who the Leafs worked really hard to sign out of junior because he's like 6'5" and scored over 60 goals in the OHL. And then, what was it? They signed him to an AHL deal, and he played in the ECHL, and he developed there. And then they brought him to the AHL, and he developed there. And then they just let him walk to a divisional rival where he's become a useful NHL player. Okay. I'm just making sure I know who that is. He's got a huge head. He's in a huge chip in his shoulder because the team he thought he was going to make the NHL with, and they were like, hey, we're going to help you make the NHL. They did. They just gave him straight to a divisional rival. Oh, okay. Making sure I got the right guy. Okay, good. Less than a minute later, like 30 seconds later, the Bruins' fourth line is out there. Fourth. It is Beecher and Kastelik and Koepka, who I've never heard of. Leafs keep asking him for golf tips at the end of April. No, I'm not that Koepka. No, I'm like a totally different guy. Anyway, the reason he got that opportunity is because William Nylander, who I love but did nothing in this game, falls by himself and basically does the splits. The puck goes the other way. Kastelik is in front of the net, and the reason he's there is because that's what is it? Where you score goals, and it's typically where you're supposed to defend, and the Leafs didn't. So he had an easy time scoring because they had a pretty good period. And then decided to stink for like half a minute, and all of a sudden they went from having the lead to being in a deficit. That's bad, not good. So, the Bruins take a 3-2 lead into the third period. The Leafs get a power play with like 10 seconds-ish to go in the third period. All right. Not a good little stint there where you go down, but as disasters go, you're heading into the third period. You're only down one. Okay. And you have a power play. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Leaf fans right now are like, no. To most normal teams, that's a good thing. This is why you got to pay attention to the whole NHL. A lot of people don't know this. Like if you're a casual, you only watch the Leafs. Having a power play is like good. Like they call it. You ever wonder why they call it the man advantage? Here, okay, so I can explain. It's all right. It'll take time. So the reason they call it a man advantage is because you have an extra player. Like you have 5 players. The other team only has 4. Right? And like, what would you rather have? Yeah, 5. Yeah, exactly. Right? So the reason they call it a man advantage is because the power play is supposed to be a good thing. And when the third period came around, the Leafs booted the puck around for 1:45 like a bored kid on his way home from school. At the time the Leafs scored their somehow miraculous game-tying goal, they were being outshot 32-21. The Leafs barely cracked 20 shots. I don't even think they cracked half a dozen shots in the third period. They didn't even really have an extra attacker. Anthony Stolarz went to the bench after having to leave the bench, by the way. Like, he left, the Leafs stunk, he had to go back into the net, and then he got to go off again. And that's when the Leafs, like, remembered, oh wait, the Bruins stink right now, too. Like, all night, the Leafs made the Bruins look like the Bruins of the playoffs. And, like, this team has stunk recently. They've been bad. Can I show you, can I give you an idea of how bad the Bruins have been recently? Okay, so here's everyone on the ice. The Leafs don't have 6 attackers. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the Bruins have 5 defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And they're like shaped perfectly like a dice. It's great. That guy right next to Jeremy Swayman there, in white and blue, is Austin Matthews! Dude. Mitch Marner fires a dart. A great pass at Austin, and it's a great tip from Austin to tie the game at 3, and it's great, and it's hooray, and you had a terrible third period, but all you need is a moment, and hurrah! If you get the 2 points from this one, you make out like thieves! You take them, and you go to the next game hoping to play better, but whatever. 2 points is 2 points. But the bad thing about overtime is you gotta play it, and they're not, good at it. Dude, I don't know what the overtime plus minus is for Matthews and Marner together. I don't know what it is for Riley either, because those are the 3, but I feel like those 2 are fishing the puck out of their net in overtime a lot. So here's what happens. Okay. So Matthews has the puck. He's fortunate to have the puck because he's tired. He's been out there a while. Marner's tired. Riley's out there too. Actually, you know what? Before I describe the play, I want you to hear what Auston Matthews and Craig Berube had to say. Mark Masters had these quotes. Auston Matthews on OT goal. I thought somebody was coming back, and then as I went to pass it, I looked up, and that wasn't the case, which is just a really funny way of wording it. Craig Berube, sorry, it is funny. Craig Berube, we got to support him a little bit better on that play. We left him alone there. It was a mistake by everybody out there. Now, before I get into the play, I'm going to point. What do you mean a little bit better? No one's even close to him. Okay, so here's what happens. Matthews is out there. Marchand is out there. Marchand's got the fresh legs. Matthews has the puck, but he's tired. We're going to try to put it on the full screen here. So Austin's got the puck. There's Marchand. At the Leafs blue line, that's Mitch. He's not looking at Austin, okay? He's looking at the bench. And honestly, that's where I expected him to go. He's tired. Go off. Get off the ice. Morgan Riley is at the offensive blue line, and I assume it's because he just came on. And the Bruins have someone just, I think it's Pasta, just basically standing there, knees completely straight on the logo. Matthews then throws a wild pass into the abyss. Here is the shot. Again, I can't show the footage. Like, this pass goes to friggin' Narnia. Pasternak's like, hey, that seems pretty cool. The other Bruin there, I'm not sure who that is, McAvoy, he's signaling to the bench like, hey, I'm coming off. Mitch is even further away and not looking at the play at all. Should he have been there supporting his guy? Yeah, maybe, for sure. He's not, though, so you can't just pass it to nobody. Make Brad take it off you, for goodness sake. You'd like Morgan to maybe hustle back a little bit better, but he ends up diving. So it's a giveaway. There's a mad scramble. Morgan Riley's doing his best to get back there. Marner doesn't even have a stick. I don't know what happened there. And Marchand, who doesn't have a goal on the season, is robbed by Anthony Stolarz. Then he hits the post. Then Pasta yeets it at the net, and I thought he scored, but apparently it's Marchand. Marchand had no goals in 8 games, and he scores on this one to win 4-3 in overtime against the Leafs. Because of course he did. You could have seen this coming from space. If a time traveler came to you in August or whenever it was that the schedule dropped and was just like, I don't know why he talks with a deep voice, hey, there's going to be a game against the Bruins, the first game back since they lost, and it's going to go to overtime. Your response wouldn't be, oh, who scored? It'd be, damn, that's crazy. When did Marchand score? The only other acceptable answer is Pastrnak. So I guess if you were like, who scored the overtime goal? Wait. Does anyone have a scoring slump? Yeah, Marchand does. Oh, right there. I gotta say this because, listen, Mitch, he's not popular with a lot of pockets of this fan base. He's not. Should he have maybe supported Matthews a little bit better there? Yeah, he could have. If Matthews just looks at what's happening, none of this happens. And I know it happens quickly, and you got Brad Marchand, who's a very good NHL player, on your tail. Look at what you're doing, and none of this happens. And that pass, even if Marner was coming back in support, was not going to hit Marner. That thing was a grenade with the pin pulled. Ends up in the back of their net in a game where Anthony Stolarz grossly outplayed Jeremy Swayman, the goalie who just gave you nightmares all throughout the playoffs. You come away with 1 point. Honestly, if you watch this game from front to back, from beginning to end, 1 point in the standings is a lot more than the Leafs deserve. They were terrible. Good at the beginning of the second, overall terrible. That third period, forget how it ended, was one of their worst periods of the season. It was definitely the worst third period. And now they've lost 3 straight. Here's how I categorized it on the stream on SDPN. Leafs lose 4-3 in Boston again. Leafs tie the series, right? Goes to sudden death. Bruins come out on top in Boston. It's the way of the world. I didn't see any anger, any urge or want to stick it to these guys who beat us in the playoffs last year. This was not a violent game. This was not even a chippy game. they outplayed you straight up at hockey. Forget all the rough stuff. You get to overtime by a miracle and you flub it after having arguably your worst third period of the season. You deserve it. Drew clipped that for the LFR. Like, because I think I nailed it. Like, couldn't have said it better myself. Question. Steve K says, how is 91 still on the power play? Mind-blowing. He kills plays every time it's on his stick. Man, Nylander did not have a good game in this one. He did not have a good game. Tavares recently has been awful. 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 Like, he's never been the most fleet of foot, right? His thing is you can't take the puck off him. He's going to win board battles. He's going to win every face-off. You can't take the puck off him. And now, like, you can't put the puck on his stick. You can't, especially in the neutral zone. It's gone. It's gone if you do that. It's gone. And, like, Nick Robertson, bless him, like, he had that one offensive zone penalty. That was obviously bad, and at a time in the game where they didn't need that to happen. Overall, I thought he had a great game. I thought he was an animal out there. Like, good hustle plays. He created a scoring chance with hustle. And good defensive stick. But ultimately, that guy's not, like, supposed to drive what's going on. That guy's a sniper. He's a goal scorer. You rush into the zone and you get him the puck, and he's going to put it in because he has a really good shot. Whatever you think of him as an overall player, that's an NHL shot on any day of the week. John Tavares can't get him the puck. Not right now. He can't cross the offensive blue line. What are we all talking about? What are we all doing? And then Berube doesn't like what the second line's doing. Nylander was invisible. Domi was no longer at center. They put Tavares there. Domi's on left wing, which is his third best forward position. He's a decent center. He was really good on the right wing with Matthews. This guy on the left wing, there's no evidence that that's good or works. Stop doing it. And on the power play, like Adam's got this theory that, like, if you swap Mitch and Domi, it could do something. And then Mitch is on the second power play unit. And it's not a demotion. It's just you have two units. You even it out a little bit. But to me, like, a huge thing that's killing them on the power play. Tavares, create chaos in front and fire it on. See if you get a rebound. See if it goes through. See if it goes off someone's ass. Anything. This guy can't do it. You're going to sit here and tell me he's going to do a better job at creating chaos in front of the net than Matthew Knies right now? No. Not even kind of no. What are we doing? Not even close. And you're looking at Berube trying to throw out the blender in the third period. You can't play him with Willie. You can't play him with Domi on the wing. You can't play him with Robbie. McMahon's got demoted. Pacioretty, by the way, was second in expected goals in this game. This is from MoneyPuck.com. Producer Drew pointed this out. Austin Matthews led the team in expected goals, 1.58. Lol. So even though he scored, he still underachieved from his expected goals. That's how snake-bitten this guy is. Pacioretty was the second best Leaf with 0.3 in less than 10 minutes of ice time. When did that happen? Was that the one play I was talking about with Robertson where he hustled? Then after that, it's Knies, 0.265, Riley, McCabe, Robertson, Mitch, who doesn't shoot! And Tavares is below him in under 15 minutes! The reason I keep harping on the third period is the Leafs needed offense the whole time. Forget the power play, although the power play's horrible. They needed offense the whole time. And John Tavares got less than 15 minutes of ice time. That's how bad he is right now. I'm not going to say that's what he is forever and ever on. Man, that's terrible. That's terrible. You can't have that. You just simply can't have it. So you're talking about, getting Tavares off the power play. Boy, I think their issues there are way bigger than that. Cass says, what early season trade would you consider making to help the team? Well, now they're kind of screwed, right? Like, I've seen some people like, okay, trade David Kampf. All right, and you trade David Kampf, and there's $2.4 million. And trade Timothy Liljegren. All right, and you trade Timothy Liljegren, and there's $3 million. Okay, now let's go out and get a $5.4 million center or winger to help offensively. Who is available, and who do teams want to give up right now in October who's making What are we doing? You have to get better offensively. Like, the most frustrating thing about this team, Stoller's in net, I'm at peace. He's great. Wool, I'm pretty convinced he's going to be just fine, right? As long as he stays healthy, obviously. You get Stollers and Wool in there, okay? You don't go into situations expecting your guys to get hurt. Stollers and Wool, great. That decor, I like it. I like it. You got Benny back there with whoever. It's going to be Timmins or Myers. Liljegren's gone. You either have Riley Tanev and OEL McCabe, or you have Riley OEL and Tanev McCabe. That's just straight up a better decor than they had last year. It's definitely a better decor than the team last year that began the season 4-4-1. If you've been watching my videos, if you've been listening to the podcast, I've been talking about this for months, that their offense, their group of forwards from last year is the same. It's the exact same, except for everyone who was there got a raise. Matthews got a raise. Willie got a significant raise. Domi got a raise. McMahon got a raise. Everyone got a raise, and Bertuzzi's not there. That's it. And then they got two guys on PTOs, and they're Lorentz and Pacioretty. That's just not significant enough. Like, you replaced Tyler Bertuzzi, who was an animal on your first line back half of the season. Was not good to start the season last year, granted, but he was an animal down the stretch. And you replaced him with Lorentz, who's like an admirable fourth liner, and Pacioretty, who's I'm not sure what he is on this team yet. So everyone's talking about like making room. Liljegren on his way out, maybe Kampf on his way out. Be great to get Järnkrok back. I think he helps some of these problems. Boy, not good enough up front. Not nearly deep enough. And down the middle, if Tavares doesn't turn it on, they're dead. Last question from Jonathan. Are we trash? No, the Leafs are not trash. I tell you what they are, though. Mid. They're mid as hell right now. They didn't look it on Monday. Felt pretty good about that. They have now lost 3 straight games with 3 different goalies, which is just downright impressive. It's like rare to have 3 different goalies play 3 straight games, play the entirety of all 3 games, and lose them all. And what'd you give those goalies over those 3 games? I believe the answer is 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals. That is an average of 2 goals a game. You are not going to win a ton of games averaging 2 goals a game. Matthews is the highest paid player in the league right now, and he actually scored in this one. Mitch Marner, $10.9 million. He got 3 assists in this one. Nylander, holy cow. And Tavares, non-factor. Tavares walking in the summer, like let's say Tavares walks and Marner signs for the exact same amount of money, pause for laughter. I don't think that cures what ails them. They need to be deeper, way deeper. A good second line center in this league costs $6, $7, $8 million in most places. You're in trouble. Unless Fraser Minton's the second coming of Patrice Bergeron, I don't know what the move is here. What do you think the move is here? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. I got a book. It's called Hockey Rants and Raves, where I rant and rave about hockey. And I got a tour. Drew, can you put the tour on the screen? Okay, that's great. That's good. Leave it. Yeah. My mic's not on anymore, right? Okay, good. I don't know. I tried to walk the line there, but dude, they were so bad in the third, dude.